what are some of the best practices for leveraging social media effectively? So basically the question is how to be effective when it comes to social media, how to use it.
Yep. So social media is essentially one of the key pillars of building a personal brand. So as I said, kind of at the start of the webinar, when people think of personal branding, they usually think of social media. They think of content creators or influencers, I suppose, as you could call them. So it's really important that you do leverage social media to build authority, to start conversation, as I said previously. So the main reason for that, and the main reason I'll always kind of suggest social media as a way to build a personal brand, is because it is the easiest way to communicate your mission to the masses quickly. So say if you have a thought, or you've had a creative idea and you want to share that with the world, immediately what people would do is share it on social media. So utilizing platforms like LinkedIn, like I do with my clients, it essentially gives them a platform to kind of creatively kind of explain their ideas, their concepts. So social media is really important for that reason. I think best practices for leveraging social media effectively, I think definitely the first one when you're building a personal brand is to think before you speak. I think a lot of people that start to build a personal brand, they start posting for the sake of posting. Maybe they've seen a LinkedIn post that says they should be posting every day, and they should be posting at a certain time. And in my opinion, I think you should scrap all of those ideologies. I think it's important to have your own strategy. So think before you speak. Think whether whatever you're writing, whatever content you're creating, whether it's you're typing it out, whether you're designing a graphic, or whether you're recording a video, is it trying to communicate what you want to communicate to your target audience? So that kind of ties on to my next point. I think it's important to talk about what you're passionate about. Say, for example, you're a tech founder and you're passionate about, say, the AR space, VR, whatever it is. If you're passionate about it, talk about it, start a conversation about it. So I feel I'm a firm believer that when you're talking about something that you're passionate about, it's a lot easier to articulate the kind of key points. So as you know, I'm passionate about marketing. So I find myself often rattling on for hours on end to my friends and family about things they don't really understand. But it totally stands true in the fact that, if you're passionate about something, then it's quite easy to just consistently make content surrounding it. So definitely kind of focus on speaking to your target audience by talking about these things that you're passionate about. And also, I think the key thing when you're leveraging social media for your personal brand is to think about how can you provide value to your ideal content consumer. The strongest personal brands all have the same thing in common in that they always provide value to the reader. So whether they're telling a story about a time that they made a mistake in business, they're not just telling a story about what went wrong, but they're also telling a story about what they've learned from it. So it means that whoever's consuming the content will then also have that learning. And it's essentially like when you consume the content of those that have the best personal brands, it feels like you're just going through a school day because you're learning things from their mistakes, or you're learning things from, maybe they have a framework that they want to share on social media and they're learning things. So I think leveraging social media for your personal brand, the most important thing is being valuable, being personal. It's in the name, and I'll kind of touch on that later on. But I think it's important to show your personality traits as well. So people that consume my social media content, they know I love live music, they know I love gaming and technology, they know I love tattoos. I've got way too many, and it's not just surface level I love marketing, but it's also who is Jamie as an individual rather than Jamie just as a professional. I think it's important to give a bit more insight into your personality in that way. And it's quite easy to feel hesitant to do that, I find. And often the clients I speak with are a bit like, I don't want to share personal things about me on social media. And that's totally fair enough. But the perks of a personal brand is that you completely dictate what you want to share. And as long as you feel it will benefit you, you have grounds to share it, if that makes sense. So those are kind of some main key points there about leveraging social media. But more than anything else, I think just work to what works for you. Pick a posting schedule. If you're a busy founder and you don't have much time in the week, maybe start with one post a week. You could talk about whether it's something that your company's doing, or whether it's something that you've recently experienced or what you've learned from it, or anything like that. Whether it's your career journey or a reflection post or whatever it may be, just share that one post a week and get into the flow of things. And then once you've built that confidence, post more and post more, post more. But it's personal branding. There's no one recipe for it. And it's quite simply because it's your unique reputation, and it's up to you to kind of dictate what that looks like.